Over 100 million kinds of creatures found a safe place from a failing galaxy. The need for changing air was very important. This area became a safe spot for those looking for safety and a chance for their DNA to change, growing and getting better year after year. In this safe place, the sentient lab was a sign of hope and progress. Here, interns like me looked into the secrets of thinking DNA, sorting out the different kinds that lived in this part of the galaxy. The Titans, huge giants with long life in their DNA, were the first to explore the cross-Tibin belt. Their big sizes and old knowledge made them strong supports in this shaky universe. Next were the Skilo, small but very smart beings. Even though they were short, their minds went far into the stars, their discoveries changing the whole of reality. But with every new discovery, they faced the danger of becoming even smaller, risking disappearing in just 1,000 years. Then there were the Rarids, creatures with animal looks, wings, horns, and more. They did the work in this mixed ecosystem. Their ability to change and do well in any job, making them very important. But maybe the most interesting were the hybrids, mixes of different creatures, each carrying a part of the DNA history of Titans, Skilo, and Rorids. They showed the end result of evolution's work, showing both the good and bad of their earlier forms in equal parts. As interns in the sentient lab, our job was more than just looking at things. We had to find DNA that could save us, looking for hard-to-find sequences that might stop the bad future coming for us all. Inside the sentient lab's safes were the DNA plans of countless individuals, saved not just as a memory of them, but as chances for the future. Who knew what secrets were sleeping in these DNA pieces, waiting to be found and used for the good of all thinking creatures? The coming of the last 10 DNA pieces brought new hope to the research place. Excitement spread as scientists started to look at the new samples, their minds full of what could be possible. Jin, the lead researcher, was in charge of this work, his eyes shining with willpower. For many years, humans had looked across the stars for signs of life, hoping to find new creatures and discover the secrets of the universe. But as time went on, their search didn't find much, and the once busy cross-Tibin belt had become a quiet spot in the huge space. As John observed his team poring over the newly acquired DNA strains, he couldn't help but feel a sense of urgency. The mysterious illness that had befallen their people threatened to wipe out entire civilizations, and time was running out. We must proceed with caution, Gian cautioned his colleagues. These DNA strains may hold the key to our salvation, but they also carry unknown risks. We cannot afford to make any mistakes. The team nodded solemnly, understanding the gravity of their task. For years they had watched helplessly as their friends and loved ones succumbed to the illness, their bodies ravaged by unseen forces. But now, with the arrival of the new DNA strains, they had been given a glimmer of hope. As days turned into weeks, the scientists worked tirelessly, analyzing every aspect of the DNA strains in search of a solution. They studied genetic sequences, mapped out potential mutations, and experimented with various combinations in the hopes of finding answers. But progress was slow, and frustration began to mount among the team. Despite their best efforts, they struggled to make sense of the complex genetic codes laid out before them. The answers they sought seemed just out of reach, tantalizingly close, yet frustratingly elusive. Yet amid the challenges and setbacks, a sense of determination prevailed. The scientists refused to give up hope, knowing that the lives of millions depended on their success. With each passing day, they drew closer to unlocking the secrets hidden within the DNA strains, inching ever closer to a breakthrough. And so, with renewed purpose and resolve, the scientists continued their work, their minds ablaze with the possibilities that lay before them. For in the end, they knew that as long as they had each other, as long as they had hope, they could conquer anything that the universe threw their way. As weeks turned into months within the confines of the sentient lab, our efforts to unravel the mysteries of sentient DNA yielded both disappointment and promise. Among the myriad strands analyzed, 9 proved to be dead ends, offering nothing of value to the genetic tapestry of the cross-Tibin belt. However, amidst the sea of genetic insignificance, there emerged a solitary beacon of hope, the human DNA. It sparkled like a rare gem amidst the rubble, its potential to save the belt from its impending doom tantalizingly close. Yet, the revelation of humanity's genetic significance was met with skepticism and disbelief among the scientific community. For centuries, rumors had circulated about the weakness of humans, their fragility and insignificance in the grand tapestry of the universe. These whispers had sown seeds of doubt, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the prospect of harnessing human DNA to salvage our crumbling world. In our classes, Master Jian had regaled us with tales of humanity's valor and resilience, painting them as paragons of courage and ingenuity. But, despite these stories, the absence of tangible evidence, a sample of human DNA, left us grasping at shadows, uncertain of the truth lurking beyond the veil of rumor and speculation. However, Master Jian's unwavering faith in the potential of humanity served as a beacon of inspiration amidst the darkness of uncertainty. He spoke of their boundless curiosity, their insatiable thirst for knowledge, and their unyielding determination in the face of adversity. With each word, he kindled the flames of hope within our hearts, igniting a fervent belief in the possibility of salvation through human DNA. And so, armed with newfound purpose and determination, we embarked on a journey of discovery, our minds aflame with the prospect of unraveling the enigma of humanity's genetic legacy. Though the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty and peril, we marched forward undeterred, fueled by the belief that within the strands of human DNA lay the key to our survival. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the sentient lab buzzed with activity, the air thick with anticipation and excitement. Every breakthrough, every revelation brought us one step closer to unlocking the secrets of human DNA, to unraveling the mysteries of our salvation. And though our journey had only just begun, we knew that with perseverance and determination, we would unlock the true potential of humanity's genetic legacy, ushering in a new era of hope and renewal for the cross-Tibbin belt and all who called it home. As the urgency of our task weighed heavily upon us, we delved deeper into the recesses of human DNA, searching for the elusive cure that could save the cross-Tibbin belt from the ravages of radiation fever. But our efforts were met with frustration and despair as the days stretched into weeks, and still the answer eluded us. Then, like a harbinger of doom, the messenger from the council arrived with dire news. The radiation fever was spreading unchecked, claiming lives at an alarming rate. Time, once our ally, now stood as our most formidable foe, its relentless march threatening to extinguish all hope of salvation. With the specter of death looming ever closer, we knew that we could not afford to waste a single moment. The Council's ultimatum, find a cure within 4 months or face annihilation, hung over us like a sword of Damocles, driving us to redouble our efforts in a desperate bid for survival. Amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, Master Jian issued a directive that would shape the course of our endeavor. Rather than continue fruitless attempts to extract a cure from human DNA, he urged us to take a different approach, to deconstruct and reconstruct the very essence of humanity itself. And so, with a sense of urgency born of desperation, we embarked on a journey of discovery unlike any other. Piece by piece, we dissected the intricate strands of human DNA, unraveling the mysteries of their physiology and chemistry with painstaking precision. Hours turned into days, and days into weeks, as we meticulously cataloged every nuance of the human genome, striving to understand the intricate tapestry of genes that defined their existence. And amidst the chaos of our endeavor, a glimmer of hope emerged, the discovery of human immunity, a formidable defense mechanism unparalleled in its potency and resilience. It was a revelation that sent shockwaves through the scientific community, igniting a fervor of excitement and determination as we realized the potential of this newfound knowledge. For in human immunity lay the key to our salvation, a weapon with which to combat the insidious spread of radiation, fever, and restore hope to a world on the brink of despair. With renewed purpose and determination, we set to work harnessing the power of human immunity, devising innovative strategies and experimental treatments in a race against time. And though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty and peril, we refused to yield to despair, knowing that within the depths of humanity's genetic legacy lay the promise of a brighter tomorrow for all who called the cross Tibbin Belt home. As the urgency of our mission to find a cure for the radiation fever gripping the cross Tibbin Belt intensified, our focus shifted towards harnessing the newfound immunity sourced from human DNA. We embarked on a monumental endeavor to assemble a vast repository of this immunity, a formidable weapon in our battle against the encroaching scourge of disease. Yet, as we delved deeper into our research, we encountered a formidable obstacle: the profound differences in human psychology compared to the myriad species inhabiting the belt. It became evident that a one-size-fits-all approach would not suffice. We would need to tailor the immunity to reflect the unique psychophysiological makeup of each sentient being. Our journey towards this monumental task began with a series of trial and error, each attempt fraught with uncertainty and trepidation. The initial test runs proved to be dismal failures, exacerbating the very affliction we sought to cure. Undeterred, we persisted, our determination unyielding in the face of adversity. As weeks turned into months, and our efforts bore little fruit, frustration threatened to engulf us. The next series of experiments yielded no better results, leaving us disheartened and disillusioned. It seemed as though our quest for a cure was destined to end in failure. But just when all hope seemed lost, a breakthrough emerged from the depths of our research, a binding element that served to promote the efficacy of the immunity, bridging the gap between theory and application. It was a revelation that breathed new life into our endeavors, igniting a spark of hope amidst the darkness of uncertainty. With our newfound knowledge in hand, we set about refining our cure, honing its potency and efficacy through rigorous experimentation and analysis. And as the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, we found ourselves on the cusp of a monumental discovery, a cure that held the promise of salvation for all who called the cross Tibbin Belt home. With trembling hands, we drafted a proposal outlining our findings and submitted it to the council, our hearts filled with hope and anticipation. To our elation, our efforts were met with an invitation to present our case before the esteemed members of the council, a rare honor reserved for only the most groundbreaking of discoveries. As we made preparations for our presentation, a sense of excitement and nervous anticipation permeated the air. This would mark the first time that we, humble scientists from the Sentient Lab, would be hosted within the hallowed halls of the Council, a testament to the significance of our work and the hope it held for the future of our world. And so, with heads held high and hearts brimming with determination, we embarked on the next phase of our journey, ready to confront whatever challenges lay ahead in our quest to bring about a new dawn of hope and renewal for the cross Tibbin Belt and all who dwelled within its embrace. As our vehicle navigates through the city streets, I peer out the window, my heart heavy with the weight of the suffering that surrounds us. Since the outbreak of radiation fever, we scientists have been confined to quarantine, tirelessly working to develop a cure before it's too late. The passage of time within the walls of our laboratory has become a blur, the days blending into one another in a relentless pursuit of salvation. But now, as we venture beyond the confines of our sanctuary, I am confronted with the stark reality of the world outside. Everywhere I look, I see the sick and the diseased, their faces etched with pain and despair. It is a sight that pierces my soul, reminding me of the urgency of our mission and the lives that hang in the balance. Finally, we arrive at the council, our escort leading us through the imposing gates of this ancient stronghold. Master Jian, holding the vial containing our newfound cure, is treated with the utmost respect, a testament to the importance of our mission in the eyes of the council. They say that this place is impregnable, a relic from a bygone era, its walls steeped in history and fortified against the ravages of time. As we are ushered into the presence of the council members, I am struck by the grandeur of the chamber in which they sit. The air is thick with an aura of authority and wisdom, each member exuding an air of gravitas befitting their station. With a sense of trepidation mingled with determination, we take our place before the council, ready to make our case. Master John, the embodiment of confidence and expertise, steps forward to explain our discovery, his words carrying the weight of years of research and dedication. With practiced precision, he demonstrates how the cure works, each step executed with the finesse of a master craftsman. The council members listen intently, their expressions shifting from curiosity to understanding, as they grasp the significance of our achievement. And as Master John concludes his presentation, a sense of anticipation hangs in the air, the silence broken only by the soft hum of conversation among the council members. And then, in a moment that seems to stretch on for eternity, the council delivers its verdict, a unanimous decision to endorse our cure and deploy it across the cross-Tibbin belt. It is a moment of triumph amidst the darkness, a beacon of hope illuminating the path forward for all who dwell within the shadow of radiation fever. And as we depart from the council chamber, our hearts brimming with gratitude and relief, I am reminded of the resilience of the human spirit and the power of determination to overcome even the greatest of adversities. As we basked in the glow of the council's approval, our hearts swelled with pride and gratitude. Placards and gifts were bestowed upon us, tokens of recognition for our tireless efforts in the pursuit of a cure. It was a moment of triumph, a rare glimmer of hope amidst the darkness that had engulfed the cross-Tibbin belt. With assurances of continued funding ringing in our ears, we eagerly sought to resume our research, eager to push forward with renewed vigor. But as the council members began to speak, a chill crept into the air, sending shivers down our spines. Their words, once filled with praise and promise, now took on a sinister tone as they urged us to abandon our prototype, the very key to our salvation. Confusion rippled through our ranks, mingled with a growing sense of unease. How could they ask us to relinquish our only hope in the face of such dire circumstances? As protests erupted among us, the mood in the chamber grew tense, the air thick with anticipation. But then, to our horror, the council's escorts drew their weapons, their cold steel glinting in the dim light of the chamber. It was then that the true extent of their betrayal became clear. The council members, it seemed, were not immune to the fear and desperation that gripped the citizens of the belt. In their panic, they sought to prioritize their own survival, sacrificing the greater good for the sake of their own selfish interests. It was a betrayal of the highest order, a betrayal of trust and of humanity itself. But even in the face of such treachery, our resolve remained unbroken. We refused to bow to their demands, clinging to the slim hope that we could still find a way to save everyone. Yet as the tension in the chamber reached its breaking point, tragedy struck. Our master, the stalwart guardian of our cause, stood firm in his defiance, refusing to surrender the vial that held the cure. And in response, the council's escorts opened fire, their weapons unleashing a deadly barrage of energy. In the chaos that followed, a fierce struggle erupted as we fought desperately to defend our master and preserve the last shred of hope that remained. But in the end, it was a battle we could not win. As our comrades fell around us, cut down by the merciless onslaught of our assailants, our master's final words rang out like a clarion call to arms. He urged us to flee, to escape the clutches of our betrayers, and continue the fight for salvation. With tears in our eyes and grief in our hearts, we made a solemn vow to honor his sacrifice, to carry on his legacy, and fulfill his dying wish. And so, with heavy hearts and a steely determination, we turned our backs on the chamber of betrayal, vowing to save everyone or die trying. As we fled from the council's betrayal, the weight of grief and loss hung heavy upon us. But amidst the chaos and confusion, there was no time for mourning. Our survival depended on our ability to stay one step ahead of our pursuers, to find sanctuary in a world that had turned against us. With the council's propaganda painting us as terrorists and plastering our faces across every screen and street corner, Our every move became a desperate bid for survival. We commandeered a bus and barreled through the city streets, our hearts pounding with adrenaline as we evaded checkpoints and eluded the relentless pursuit of law enforcement and bounty hunters. But no matter how fast we drove or how cunningly we maneuvered, the net of our pursuers drew ever closer, tightening around us with each passing moment. Soon, we found ourselves cornered, surrounded on all sides by flashing lights and the ominous sound of sirens. Just when it seemed as though all hope was lost, a sudden explosion shattered the night, sending shockwaves rippling through the air. A group of rebels, clad in makeshift armor and bearing arms, emerged from the chaos, their faces obscured by masks and their resolve unyielding. With swift precision, they engaged our pursuers, creating a diversion that allowed us to slip through the cracks and escape into the night. They fought with a ferocity born of desperation, their determination to protect us evident in every blow struck and every bullet fired. Amidst the chaos of battle, we found ourselves swept up in a tide of violence and defiance, our fate now intertwined with that of our newfound allies. And as the rebels fought to secure our freedom, we were ushered to safety, guided to a hidden sanctuary where we could continue our work, away from the prying eyes of the council. Here, in the heart of the rebellion, we met their leader, a charismatic figure known only as Balain. He spoke of a world torn asunder by the callous indifference of those in power, of a council that had long since abandoned its duty to protect and serve the people it purported to represent. But amidst the despair and disillusionment, there remained a glimmer of hope, a belief that together, united in purpose and resolve, we could defy the odds and bring about a new era of hope and renewal for all who called the cross Tibin Belt home. And so, with a solemn vow to stand shoulder to shoulder with our rebel allies, we pledged ourselves to the cause, determined to forge a path forward where none existed before. For in the crucible of adversity, amidst the chaos of betrayal and persecution, we knew that our only hope lay in unity and defiance, in the relentless pursuit of a future where no one would be left behind. In the serene confines of the rebel camp, amidst the rustle of leaves and the whisper of the wind, we gathered to pay homage to our fallen master. The flickering light of candles cast a gentle glow upon our faces as we huddled together, a somber assembly, bound by grief and gratitude. For hours, we shared stories and memories, each recollection a bittersweet tribute to a man whose courage and selflessness had illuminated our darkest hours. Tears flowed freely as we recounted his deeds, his words, and the indelible mark he had left upon our lives. But amidst the tears, there was laughter, the laughter of shared memories and shared bonds, a testament to the enduring camaraderie that bound us together as comrades in arms. In those fleeting moments of solace, we found solace in each other, drawing strength from the unbreakable ties that bound us as family. As the candlelight waned and the night wore on, we lingered in the embrace of remembrance, unwilling to let go of the precious memories that sustained us in our time of need. And when at last we parted, it was with heavy hearts and a renewed determination to honor our master's legacy through our actions. But as we returned to our work, the weight of our grief hung heavy upon us, casting a pall over our endeavors. We found ourselves grappling with a sense of loss that threatened to overwhelm us, each task a painful reminder of the void left by our fallen comrade. And yet, despite the heaviness that weighed upon our hearts, we knew that we could not afford to falter. Our mission was too important, our cause too great to be derailed by sorrow. And so, with a collective resolve born of grief and determination, we set about the task at hand, striving to carry on our master's work in his absence. But as we labored, we were keenly aware of the challenges that lay ahead. Our resources were scarce, our facilities rudimentary at best. Without the vast array of equipment and technology that had been at our disposal in the sentient lab, our progress was slow and painstaking. Still, we persevered, making the most of what we had and refusing to be daunted by the enormity of the task before us. Each setback was met with renewed determination, each obstacle a mere hurdle to be overcome on the path to victory. Meanwhile, Outside the confines of our makeshift laboratory, the Council's efforts to capture us only intensified. Military units swarmed the countryside, their numbers growing with each passing day as the urgency of our mission became increasingly apparent. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope emerged, a breakthrough that promised to change the course of our struggle. Through tireless experimentation and innovation, we discovered a method to transform our cure into an airborne form, capable of reaching even the most remote corners of the cross-Tibbin belt. With hearts pounding with anticipation, we conducted the initial tests, watching anxiously as the airborne cure spread through the air, neutralizing the radiation fever with each passing moment. And when the results proved successful, a wave of relief washed over us, buoyed by the knowledge that we finally had a weapon with which to combat the scourge of disease. And so, with our newfound cure in hand, we prepared to take to the skies, determined to bring hope and healing to all who dwelled within the shadow of radiation fever. For in the face of adversity, amidst the chaos of betrayal and persecution, we had found a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and our capacity to overcome even the greatest of challenges. With the airborne cure in hand, our focus shifted to the daunting task of disseminating it across the vast expanse of the cross-Tibbin belt. But even as we celebrated our breakthrough, a new challenge loomed on the horizon: the need for a battleship capable of delivering the cure on a scale large enough to make a difference. It was rebel leader Balain who proposed a daring plan to seize a battleship from the military, who possessed the only vessels powerful enough to carry out our mission. With grim determination etched upon our faces, we accepted the risks, knowing that our lives hung in the balance. Under the cover of darkness, we were escorted to the heart of the military camp, our presence immediately detected by the watchful eyes of our enemies. As alarm bells rang out and troops mobilized, the rebels sprang into action, engaging the military in a fierce firefight while we made a desperate bid to steal a battleship. But our efforts were in vain, as wave after wave of soldiers descended upon us, overwhelming our defenses and leaving us with no choice but to retreat. In the chaos and confusion, only a handful of us managed to board the battleship, our hearts heavy with the knowledge that we were leaving our comrades behind to face the wrath of the Council. As we took to the skies, the weight of our decision hung heavy upon us, a bitter reminder of the sacrifices we had been forced to make in the pursuit of our cause. And then, a chilling broadcast from the Council leader echoed through the airwaves, threatening reprisals against our friends unless we returned the cure to their custody. For a moment, we wavered, torn between our loyalty to our friends and the urgency of our mission. But then, a steely resolve settled over us as we realized that there was no turning back. We could not let fear and intimidation dictate our actions, not when so much was at stake. And so, with a sense of determination bordering on defiance, we charted a new course, one that would lead us to the heart of the Council's power, the communication tower. With the might of the battleship at our disposal, we launched a daring assault, overwhelming the defenders and seizing control of the tower. And then, with the eyes of the entire cross-Tibbin belt upon us, we broadcast the truth of the Council's betrayal, of their abandonment of the people they had sworn to protect. We told them of our friends held captive, of the cure that could save them all, and of the choice that lay before them, to stand with us in defiance of tyranny, or to remain shackled by fear and deception. And as our message spread like wildfire, igniting a spark of rebellion in the hearts of all who heard it, we knew that our journey was far from over. For in the crucible of adversity, amidst the chaos of conflict and betrayal, we had found a strength and a unity that transcended the barriers of fear and doubt. And together, united in purpose and resolve, we would rise to meet whatever challenges lay ahead, forging a new future for the cross-Tibbin belt and all who called it home. As the dust settled on the smoldering ruins of the Council building, a sense of euphoria swept through the streets of the cross-Tibbin belt. The revolution, fueled by the collective will of the people, had triumphed, toppling the oppressive regime that had held them in its grip for so long. And in its place, a new world order emerged, one forged in the fires of rebellion, tempered by the ideals of justice and freedom. With the council's tyranny consigned to the annals of history, the people took control of their own destiny, reclaiming their rightful place as masters of their fate. From every corner of the belt, they came together, united in purpose and resolve, determined to build a future that honored the sacrifices of those who had come before them. At the heart of this newfound freedom stood the scientists, their courage and ingenuity heralded as the catalyst for change. Statues were erected in their honor, monuments to their tireless efforts and unwavering dedication to the cause. Among them stood a tribute to their fallen master, a symbol of sacrifice and selflessness that would forever inspire generations to come. But even as they celebrated their hard-won victory, the people of the Cross-Tibin Belt never forgot the debt they owed to the humans, the beings whose DNA had provided the key to their salvation. In every corner of the newly liberated world, their memory was honored, a reminder of the power of cooperation and solidarity in the face of adversity. And so, with the threat of radiation fever vanquished and the promise of a brighter future on the horizon, the people of the Cross-Tibin Belt looked to the skies with hope and optimism. Their planet, once ravaged by disease and despair, was now a beacon of hope and renewal, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the enduring power of unity. As they stood on the threshold of a new era, their hearts filled with gratitude and joy, the people of the Cross-Tibin Belt knew one thing for certain: their planet was safe, their future secure, and their journey far from over. And as they looked to the stars above, they dared to dream of all the possibilities that lay ahead, knowing that together they could overcome any challenge and conquer any obstacle that dared to stand in their way.